Howdy y'all, thank you for joining me today for this unboxing of Marvel Champions the card game, the Hero Pack, Deadpool. I know a lot of people have been looking forward to this one, so I'm doing this pretty late as I just received it and I want to get it out as fast as possible so people can take a look at it. But you can kind of see what's going to be included in here. It says it's a 78 card Hero Pack. This is going to have a pre-constructed deck in it, so this is ready to go straight out of the box. And it lets us know there's a new aspect in this. So this is going to give us extra cards to help build to a new aspect, which I'm assuming is some kind of Deadpool joke aspect. We'll see. And we're also going to get an encounter set featuring the evil Deadpool, which the encounter sets are for the bad guys and whatnot. And sorry, my brain might be a little scattered doing this one because like I said, I just received this. I'm doing this late at night, so that I can get this out to y'all so y'all can see as soon as possible what is in this so that y'all could know if you want to pre-order this or go get it from your local game shop. Which this will be available on November the 17th is when it will come out. So, and I'm also wanting to open this because while I am not a huge Deadpool fan, I do want to check this out and see what this new aspect is. I mean, anytime they're adding something new to this game, I think that is an awesome thing. So, let's see what that's all about. Enough talk, let's get into it. Alright, just to let you know, there is a tape here, like, to let you know if your product has been tampered with. I have already pre-cut that, but just to let you know if you want to keep a look at that and see. And you're going to open it up and you're going to see that instantly you got your pack of cards, along with you want to lift up this flap. I see people always do this all the time. And normally there's only one thing under there, but there's two under this one. I'm assuming it's because there's more rules to this since it's a new aspect and whatnot. But here we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. So I'm assuming this is the little poster. They always send you a little poster, which is always the same poster as what you see here. And this one looks like they even threw a little joke thing in. Because it says, spot the differences. How many differences can you find? They're going to have you flipping this over and over again, which I already saw a couple differences. I know I'm zoomed way in, so you're not going to be able to see all of this. But that way you can kind of see this. And I'm zoomed in because I want to show you the cards. And I know I could have zoomed out, showing you some other stuff. But that's just showing you a poster, which will be something nice that you can just get and do. And then next we're going to get, which is normally the rules, that are going to be some differences here. Oh, I didn't do that, man. I think. Oh, no, we knew. Never mind. Sorry. Normally, I'll do like a guess on what aspect they are inside the game, but this one we already knew. It was going to be a new aspect, the pool aspect, which be curious to see if they continue to add more. We'll see if they do in the future. But yeah, normally it's a rule set, and then on this back that we're looking at here, it is basically normally that poster that we just now saw. So, oh look, and they got the answers to the poster differences there, but not going to spoil that for anyone who wants to try to do it. Alright, well let's get right into what you want to see. We have the Deadpool hero deck with, we can already kind of see where the bad guy stuff is, and then the extra cards for being able to make any of your characters into this aspect. Alright, so cut that open. And one more thing I'm going to talk about here real fast before we get right into this, and I ain't going to talk about it long. I mean, I'll open one. There is, if you go to your LGS, there should be these organized play kits that will get, and like us, every time we demo, if you come play at one of our demos, which we do every Monday and whatnot, you come play at our demos, or really if you buy product from us, we give you one of these little demo packs. I'm going to go ahead and open it here and show you what it comes with. But this is going to be full arts and or an alternate art of the characters from this Next Evolution X4/X-Force thing. So like here we have Angel, which this is the alternate art Angel. And yeah, normally I don't open one of these myself unless I'm playing in the demo, but I figured I would open one here to show you what you get. So we got the differences there. And then you'll get some bad guy full arts. Like we got Arclight here, side A and B. And then we have Harpoon, side A and B. And then I had a couple of my players who basically already demoed it up at the shop, played it. And since they were throwing a demo, I went ahead and they didn't get to play the Deadpool. They were just playing Marvel Champions. But since they were demoing, I went ahead and let them open 2 of the demo packs since we got them. But I didn't let them take the cards because I technically think these aren't supposed to be out until the 17th. So I didn't want to allow them to hit the street. So they're just letting me hold on to them until they can pick up their pre-orders. But I figured I'd show you some of the other ones that are inside their packs. But you can see, like, there's the alternate art Deadpool. We can already see that. So, and then this was, I opened the alternate art Angel. Oh, guess I can get on the right side. So you can see how they have the alternate arts. And then if it is the old art, like in the case of this one, then it is basically the full art, as I like to call it, or the comic book art. But there's the differences there. And then you can see the other ones they opened. Which they both, I didn't even look at these yet, and I just realized they both ain't opened an Angel. So, but cool. All right, enough about that. But yeah, go check out your local game shop. Ask them about them. Maybe you can pick up some of those cool arts and cards if you want. But let's get into the video here. All right, so right off the bat here we have Deadpool. He's got a 2 thwart, a 2 attack, a 1 defense. And let you know, ignore the zeros. Deadpool core, X-Force, the regenerate and degenerate. And I actually haven't seen this yet. Like, even when they handed me that Deadpool, I didn't even read it. So this is all going to be new to me. I have not looked at any of this stuff. I like to be surprised when I do these openings. So, forced interrupt. When you would be defeated, instead set your hit point dial to 1, change to alter ego form, and add 1 acceleration token to the main scheme. So he can just never be knocked out. Of course, it's going to be making it harder, so you don't want to just be doing that because you're going to be getting those acceleration tokens. But, yeah, it just sounds like he just never gets knocked out, which is kind of my issue with Deadpool. I like Deathstroke, but, yeah. Here we go. We got Wade Wilson. 8 recovery. That sticks out, but it makes sense because, yeah. Well, hello, handsome. Alter Ego, Mercenary Mutant. So he is a mutant. I'll see what the asterisk is. Sometimes I'm a mutant, sometimes I'm not. So I'm sure a lot of this is going to be just stuffed with these jokes. But he's got a hand size of 6 and a hit points of 9. And I did not show that here on the back. But in hero form, it's a 5 hand size and a hit points 9. So that's about what we typically see. Seems like average. Break the 4th wall. Action. Discard a card from your hand. Search your deck for a Deadpool event and add it to your hand. Limit once per round. Okay. So that's not so bad. And then, hey, we have an ally I like to see. And I like my aggression allies. I got a feeling it's going to get added to my Storm ally deck. Storm Aggression Ally, which is one of my favorites because it has no events in it, but other than her events. But here we go. 3 cost. Ally. 1 thwart. 2 attack with something special on them. 3 hit points. Cable gets +1 thwart and +1 attack for each acceleration token on the main scheme. So he just progressively gets better. And then if you're playing him with Deadpool. Oh, I don't know why my stupid brain just didn't put 2 and 2 together. Like I said, it's late. Yeah, I can't put this in my Storm deck because this is Deadpool's cards. This is his unique ally. So these are going to be the 15 cards that are just in the Deadpool deck. Boo. That's alright, though. Yeah, I like it. Sounds cool. Exhausting personality, 0 cost event, hero action. Place 1 acceleration token on the main... Choose to either place 1 acceleration token on the main scheme and stun and confuse the villain. Or you can exhaust a player's identity. That player draws 1 card for each acceleration token on the main scheme. So it makes sense. A lot of this stuff's probably going to have to do with how many acceleration tokens are on the main scheme. Especially since... So you probably let him get knocked out 1 time just so you can do some better stuff here. Or you can just play it safe, and if you happen to get some more acceleration, this is what happens. Alright, 0 cost event, maximum effort, hero action, take any amount of damage up to your remaining hit points, and deal an equal amount of damage to an enemy. So it can be up to 8. And we get 2 of those. 1 cost event, meta knowledge, hero interrupt. When an encounter card is revealed, cancel all of its effects and discard it. Take 1 damage for each icon in that card's boost area. That's pretty good, actually, especially against Shadows of the Past and stuff. And if you're not playing with the standard 2 Shadows of the Past, that's only really 1 damage, I think. Maybe 2. So, I mean... Oh, but you only get 1 of those. Makes sense, because that's pretty strong. And then, 1 cost event, Yoo-Hoo, hero action, thwart. Take any amount of damage up to your remaining hit points. Remove an equal amount of threat from a scheme. So, equal to the damage one. So, we're probably going to have 2 of those. Yep. We have a resource here, montage. You know, even Rocky had a montage. This card generates 1 additional wild resource for each acceleration token on the main scheme. Makes sense because that could be a lot, so only 1 of those. 2 costs, Chimichanga Truck. Response, or this is support. Response, after an identity makes a basic recovery, exhaust Chimichanga Truck to ready that identity. So you can exhaust him for 8 recovery and then ready him again. Seems pretty good. 2 cost upgrade, Arm to the Teeth. As a response, after you play Arm to the Teeth, search your collection for 1 weapon upgrade from any aspect and attach it face down here. I like that they do that. That way, if you're not playing with his new aspect, which we haven't seen really what that's all about yet, if we're not playing with his new aspect, it lets you go get either card. So... or a weapon, but from any aspect. So I like that. And as an action, exhaust Arm to the Teeth. Swap the card attached here with a weapon upgrade you control. 2 cost upgrade. Deadpool's Katana. It's a restricted hero action attack. Exhaust Deadpool's Katana and take 1 damage. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. And this attack gains piercing. And then we have 2 of those. Makes sense. His dual katanas. 1 cost upgrade. It ain't over. Condition. Attached to the main scheme. Increase the target threat value of attached scheme by 2 for each acceleration token on it. So, while you'll be adding all those acceleration tokens, possibly, this at least makes it to where you don't mind so much because you're kind of canceling out 1 or 2 of them. So, pretty cool. And then 3 cost event, this card is fire. Forced response, after your turn ends, if this card is in your hand, take a damage. Hero action attack, deal X damage to an enemy. X is the amount of damage you have sustained. So, I mean, it makes you want to play it, and you play it with that other one, which costs how much? 0? Yeah, man. You do it with this one, do 8 damage. And then play this one. 16 damage. Seems a little busted, but... But I guess your whole hand would be kind of down if you're doing that one. And that's if you're doing all those hit points. So, we'll see. Alright, we're into the new aspect. So, let's check it out. New aspect is the pool aspect. Looks like it's going to be this purple. So we got dog pool here. 3 cost, ally, 0 thwart, 1 attack with 4 hit points. And no consequence stars. So let's see what that's all about. Retaliate 1 toughness. When defeated, deal 1 damage to an enemy. So I mean... Nothing that does damage to it, but does have this acceleration thing, which a lot of his things I think said acceleration token. Yeah, I kind of figured. It said it in the little pamphlet thing that comes with him. That, yeah, this don't count as a token. Because I'm about to say that'd be busted. So this guy, I mean, while you can do one attack, I mean, it's not busted with this because you're only doing one damage. This is like the whole Cosmo, Doctor Strange argument all over again. Like, yeah, you're not losing this guy, but they're only doing one damage. So, I mean, to get an acceleration that they can't even take care of, it's kind of not, I'm not going to say it's bad. It's just, you're not doing a lot because of it. So, I mean, you're going to have to work around it. Either way, and we should see several allies in this aspect because if you want to play this as a new aspect, you're going to need allies. So here we go. Here's another ally. 3 costs, 2 thwart, 1 attack, only 1 hit point. Once again, no consequence stars. But as a response, after Deadpool attacks and damages a minion, that minion attacks another enemy of your choice. So, but once again, I bet we're going to see that throughout this whole aspect. Is probably a lot of these, I guess, kind of baddish things. This is the boost, extra boost on boost cards icons. So, I mean, I'm assuming we're going to see a bunch of that. That's what we're going to see. Here we got Deadpool, 3 cost ally, 1 thwart, 2 attack, no consequence stars again, 2 hit points. His attacks gain piercing, but, yep, more acceleration. Lady Deadpool, 4 cost, 2 thwart, 2 attack, no consequence, 3 hit points. When defeated, defeat a non-elite minion. So, some of these you're kind of wanting them to maybe get defeated at a certain time, because, like that one, man, just takes out a whole minion, especially if she's down to, well, how would she be down to 1 hit point? But, yeah, 1 boost. So 4 new allies. And then here we got barely a scratch. And I'm assuming with these new ones, we're going to see the ultimate, like how many you can have in your deck. Like you only have 1 of these. So these probably going to have 3 ofs. And we got a 0 cost here event. Barely a scratch. I get it. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Hero interrupt defense. When you would take any amount of damage from an attack, prevent 1 of that damage for each of the icons that are in play. So 3 of those. And then we have a 3 cost event here. Basically cut upper instead of uppercut. Hero action attack. Deal 5 damage to an enemy. Stun that enemy. Max 1 per deck. Then we have Da Bomb. 6 cost event. Max 1 per deck. Hero action. Deal 10 damage to the villain. Deal 1 damage to each enemy and hero for each icon in play. So, and then 0 cost event, which we see they just took another one, Get Ready, which was a leadership, made it Get Ragey. And it is a 0 cost event. Action, ready an ally. That ally gets +1 attack until the end of the phase. Only 1 per deck. I got this, 1 cost event. Hero action, if the following icons are on 1 or more cards in play. And then depending on the icons, you get to do more stuff. The Crisis one deals 3 damage to an enemy. The Acceleration one, remove 2 threat from a scheme. The Boost one, ready an ally you control. And the Extra Encounter, draw 1 card. And 3 of those. 0 cost event. Instead of Great Responsibility, not my responsibility. It is a interrupt. When an amount of threat would be placed on a scheme, you or your ally takes it as damage instead. Max 1 per deck. Curious why they're doing these only as 1 per deck. On these ones where they're using old cards. I might go look at something. I think I have an idea about that, but we'll see. 6 cost event, pull inspection, thwart, Max 1 per deck. Hero action thwart. Remove 5 from the main scheme, ignoring the crisis icon. Remove 1 threat from each scheme for each of the icons in play. And then we have a player side scheme. I didn't think about that. Having a new aspect player side scheme. Live dangerously. Victory 0. 0 to bring out. Each identity gets +2 hand size. But it has all the icons on it. So you keep it in play, but that can get rough. Alright, we have the new resource for the new pool aspect. Self-confidence, max 1 per deck. Double the number of resources this card generates if your identity has sustained less than 5 damage. Triple the resource instead if you have sustained no damage. Alright. Self-control, resource, max 1 per deck. Double the number of resources this card generates if your identity has sustained less than 5 damage. Triple the resource instead. So, I'm assuming we're going to see all 4 of the other aspects here, because this reads as the same card, just self-confidence, self-control for the mental, self-preservation for the... Oh, I said aspects. I'm an idiot. There's only 3 resources, so we're seeing them. Max 1 per deck. Double the number of resources this card generates if your identity has sustained less than 5 damage for the energy resource. 2 cost upgrade. Get good. Reduce the cost to play Get Good by 2 if you did not win your previous game of Marvel Champions. Forced Interrupt. When a player would be defeated, they set your hit point dial to 1 and change to Alter Ego form instead. Remove this card from the game. 3 cost upgrade. Healing Factor. Max 1 per deck. Response. After the player phase begins, exhaust Healing Factor. Heal 2 damage from your identity. 2 cost upgrade, stick-to-itiveness, can't say that, stick-to-itiveness, whatever, tenacity. Hero action, spend a physical resource and exhaust this card, ready your hero. Max 1 per deck. And then we get into the basics, which we already saw this one in the Cable deck, Frenemies. It's a team up, hero action, deal 1 damage each to Cable and Deadpool, remove 3 threat from a scheme and 3 threat from a different scheme, which makes sense because you can get Cable out with this deck. Alright, that's the deck that you would play, and then now we're going to get into his obligation and his arch nemesis, which I would say his arch nemesis to be himself, but the Merc with the Mouth obligation. Give to the Wade Wilson player, exhaust each ally you control. Allies you control cannot ready. Other players cannot resolve player card abilities during your turn. Forced response. After the player phase ends, if you have not talked this phase, discard this card. Okay. His nemesis, Butler. Minion. 2 scheme, 1 attack. Forced interrupt when Butler schemes. Place that threat on involuntary procedures if able. Deadpool's nemesis minion. Boost, you are confused. So, and here's the involuntary procedures it talked about. So, Butler seeks to cure his sister's cancer using Deadpool's regenerative abilities. Forced response. After Deadpool takes any amount of damage, place 1 threat here. Then if there is 10 or more threat here, remove this card from the game. Alright. So I guess I didn't know this because like I said, I'm not a huge Deadpool fan. I am a Deathstroke fan. I really don't find, like, some of these cards were funny. I just don't find the Deadpool stuff humorous. And I really do, like, I like the movies. I just really do not, yeah, I could go off on it. No reason to go on that tangent. Tabula Rasa, 16, attached to your identity. Treat your identity's printed text box as blank, except for traits. Alter Ego action. Spend 2 mental resources. Discard this card. Boost. Attach Tabula Rasa 16 to your identity. And then Mutated Soldier. Minion. 1 scheme. 2 attack. Toughness. 5 hit points. After Forced Response. After Mutated Soldier activates, heal all damage from it. So you're going to probably need those ones where you can do a lot of damage in 1 hit. Okay, so that would be his Nemesis, I should have mentioned. His 5 Nemesis cards. So we'll get into the encounter set, it looks like. The Deadpool one that you can add in to where you can add the Deadpool encounter into any villain set to go up against. And actually, this kind of touches on what I have an issue with Deadpool. I just don't like, oh, he can wipe out the whole Marvel Universe. Whatever. Crisis of Infinite Deadpool's Treachery. When revealed, reveal the set-aside Deadpool minion and Deadpool Deeds side scheme. Shuffle the rest of the set-aside Deadpool encounter set into the encounter deck. Remove this card from the game. Then we have Deadpool himself, minion, 2 scheme, 2 attack, 3 hit points. Deadpool engages the first player. When defeated, deal Deadpool to the player who defeated him as a face-down encounter card. Then we have, and I guess I should have said, on this encounter set there are 7. But Dreadful Deeds, side scheme. Deadpool believes the only way to end his suffering is to kill every being in all the multiverse. When revealed, place 2 threat here for each player who controls 1 or more pool pink cards. So, Anti-Regeneration Ray, attachment. Attached to Deadpool, otherwise attached to the villain. Forced Interrupt, when attached character attacks a non-villain character, treat the attacked character's text box as if it were blank until the end of the attack, except for traits. +1 attack. Hero action, you can spend 1 of each resource. Attach this card to your identity. Alright. Poolized. Treat attached ally as a pool minion with a blank text box. Attached minion scheme is equal to its printed thwart and it does not take consequential damage. When revealed, attach to the ally with the highest cost without poolized attached. Otherwise, this card gains surge. And we have 2 of those. And then we have Metacidal Tendencies. Treachery. When revealed, deal 2 damage to each Deadpool core character. 3 damage instead if Deadpool was in play. If no damage was dealt this way, place 1 acceleration token on the main scheme. Alright, so that's everything there. And then it lets you know it's stop. The remaining cards are not part of the Deadpool pre-built deck. The player cards before this divider compose the greatest deck ever conceived. There's a deck list on the reverse side of this card for your reference. The cards after this divider can be used when building your own custom player deck. The rules for deck customization can be found in Appendix 1 of the rules reference, as if you could possibly improve on my deck. Alright, there's something I want to look at real fast here. Okay, so what I wanted to go look at was like, and it covered in that fold out, was like the stuff like this. I was curious why they improved them, but then they said max 1 per deck. It's just they let you know that they are the same ones with just differences in how to play with them. But the main thing was I was curious why normally when they have these extra encounter sets, they have them after the deck. Why they had this included as part of the deck, as they were saying in this, like everything above this. And it's because if you're playing with this aspect in your deck, whether it be Deadpool or anyone else, you have to include this card into the encounter set. Into the encounter deck, I should say. Because if they're playing that aspect, it's going to force that this could possibly shuffle all this into the deck. So I wanted to look that up. I was curious why they would do that and mention that it was all before the deck, and that is why. Alright, so yeah, we're going to see, like they said, for reference or for your own thing, it lets you know what was in this deck. That way you can rebuild it and put it right back if you want to. And have it ready to go. But now after this, we should see a bunch of new cards, which should be all the new aspect cards. That way you can either change this deck, or if you want to change one of your other decks, you're not just forced to play with just only those cards. You have other cards you can sub in and out. So here we got a new ally, 2-cost ally, Bob, Agent of Hydra, 1 thwart, 1 attack, and just like usual, we've seen on this aspect for allies, no consequence stars, 2 hit points. After Bob, Agent of Hydra, enters play, deal 2 damage to an enemy or remove 1 threat from a scheme. Alright. Negasonic Teenage Warhead. 4-cost ally. 2 thwart, 2 attack. 4 hit points. Interrupt. When a treachery is revealed, deal 2 damage to Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Cancel that treachery's when revealed effects. We have Panda Pool here. 4-cost ally, 0 thwart, 3 attack, 4 hit points. Has toughness. And then we have Break Time. 3 cost per player event. Alliance, which means other people can help pay for this. Max 1 per deck. Alter Ego action. Take a group break. Leave the table. Read a comic book. When you come back to the game, heal 1 damage from each identity for every minute you are away from the game. Alright. Get in front of me instead of get behind me. 1 cost event. Hero Interrupt. When a treachery card is revealed from the encounter deck, cancel its when revealed effects. The villain attacks you instead. If an ally or another hero defends this attack, draw 1 card. Max 1 per deck. Mulligan. 3-cost event. You cannot play this card if you have played another card this phase. Action. Discard your hand. Draw a new hand. Draw up to your hand size. 3 of those. Deadpool Core Ship. 1-cost support. Action. Exhaust Deadpool Cores. Ship and deal yourself 1 face down encounter card. Put a pool ally into play from your hand. Should be 3. Oh, no. Only 1 of those. Okay. Plot Convenience, 2-cost support. Action, exhaust Plot Convenience. Choose to attach 1 aspect card from your hand face down here to a maximum of 3. Or you can add 1 card attached face down here to your hand. Any player may trigger this ability. Only 1 of those. 1-cost upgrade, Ambush. Attached to a side scheme, max 1 per side scheme. Interrupt. When attached side scheme is defeated, discard a non-elite minion. And we have the crisis icon there. We have 3 of those. And then, oh, I'm just an idiot. I was like, why'd they only put 1 of? Because you can only have, they're unique. All right. 2-cost upgrade, Bazooka. Restricted, max 2 per deck. Hero action, attack, discard Bazooka, deal 1 damage to an enemy for each icon in play. This attack gains ranged. So we should have 2 of these. We have Blackout here, 0-cost upgrade. Hero action, spend 1 resource of any type, move 1 threat from a scheme to an empty space above that matches the spent resource. If all spaces above are filled, discard this card and confuse the villain. So, interesting card. 0-cost upgrade, Distraction. Attached to a non-elite minion. Max 1 per minion. Attached minion cannot activate. With the crisis icon. Alright. We have Laser Swords here. 3-cost upgrade. Counts as 2 restricted cards. Max 1 per deck. And your hero gets +1 attack for each icon in play to a maximum of +4. But I mean, it takes up both your restricted slots, so. Alright. Rock, Paper, Scissors. 1-cost upgrade. Hero action. Exhaust this card. Choose 1 card in your hand and discard the top card of your deck. Using the diagram above, if a printed resource on the chosen card beats a printed resource on the discarded card, add the discarded card to your hand. 0-cost upgrade, Tic-Tac-Toe. Hero action, spend 1 resource of any type. Move 1 damage from a character to an empty space above matching the spent resource. If there are 3 damage tokens in a line, deal all damage on this card to an enemy and discard this card. 1-cost upgrade, War. Hero action, exhaust War. Discard the top card of the encounter deck. Take 1 damage from each icon in the boost area of that card. Discard the top card of your deck. Deal damage to an enemy equal to that card's cost. And there we have it. That is the new aspect and the Deadpool deck. I'm sure if people love this, they're going to try it out. Heck, I'm going to try it out. I know if you've watched all my videos before, you know I'm going to do a solo playthrough where I'm going to play with this deck unchanged and put it up against, I think last time I switched to Juggernaut, so it's probably going to be Deadpool versus Juggernaut. But yeah, we'll do a solo playthrough with this deck unchanged and see how it works out. And with that, I'm going to let you go as I go on to the X23 unboxing. But hopefully you enjoyed that and checking out this new Deadpool deck and this new aspect. So thank you for watching and have a great day.